Welcome to Money Matters. I'm Gigi Stone. Consumers are feeling better about the job picture, according to new research this week from the Conference Board. The optimists, consumers who think jobs are plentiful, increased to nearly 21% this month from around 19% in December. Meanwhile, those saying jobs were hard to get fell slightly with the new year underway. The clean slate seems to be motivating a lot of people to start job hunting, and if you're in the market for new employment, we've got the man to talk to, Todd Bermont, author of 10 Insider Secrets to a Winning Job Search. It's a book based on his own experience interviewing and hiring at companies like IBM and American Power Corporation. Thanks so much for being with us, Todd.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
What are some of the most common mistakes people make when applying for a job?
Well, the biggest mistake, first of all, is they don't believe in themselves. A lot of people get bummed out about the job hunt. They take the rejection personally. You can't do that. You have to believe in yourself. Then you have to know exactly what you want and develop a winning game plan to get it.
Let's talk about first step resume. Do you have any tips for making your resume better?
What you want is your resume. You think about a movie commercial. It gets 30 seconds to convince you to go to a 2 or 3 hour movie. That's about all your resume is going to get. So you want your resume to show strictly your highlights. Don't waste the person's time with a lot of useless, non-position relevant information. Instead, you want to hit them with accomplishments and quantifiable results that you've achieved.
Let's talk about the interview process. What are some tips for being, a great interview?
Well, first of all, you want to be very prepared up front. And the preparation is really a couple things. First of all, the Internet's a wonderful tool for researching the companies up front. You want to pay particular attention to the mission statement and also to the core values of the company. If you can show how you can contribute to the overall mission of the company and show how your values are in alignment with the core values of the company, you've got a great shot out of the gate. Then, like a football team will practice an entire week for one game, you want to make sure you put that kind of practice and preparation into your interviews.
So you prepare for your interviews and you practice and you go out of the gate, or whatever the sports term is that I will mess up. But you don't want to talk too much. Also, that's one of the things that you point out.
That's true. And we have a saying in sales that says that we're given 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, that we should be listening twice as much as we're talking. The best interviews are those interviews where you let the interviewer do more of the talking.
Well, that's at least what they leave thinking was the best interview, because they talked about themselves, and everyone likes that.
Everybody loves to talk about themselves, and a great way to get them to talk, there's a classic question I always suggest people ask at the beginning of the interview, and that is, if you had your ideal candidate for this position, what kind of qualities and characteristics would that candidate have? Now you know the exact type of candidate they're looking for, and you can tailor the whole rest of the job interview towards that candidate.
And, we're talking about going after these ideal positions that you would want, but some people just want a job at all. And so we've heard a lot about the nursing shortage over the years, but what are some other industries that are hiring?
Well, healthcare is a wonderful industry altogether. Like you mentioned, nursing, but also anything related to biotech, related to pharmaceuticals, tremendous opportunities there.
You have to be a little creative too. You have to think outside the box, because as you said, the healthcare industry needs people, and you say, well, I'm not qualified to be a nurse, but they need PR people and marketing people, and there are a lot of other fields within that, that, like, for example, the trucking industry needs a lot of people right now, apparently, I was reading, and you don't necessarily have to be a truck driver, but there are a lot of opportunities within that industry.
Oh, absolutely. You're right on, because within trucking or within healthcare, like you said, you need administrative people, you need customer service people, you need marketing people, you need investor relations people, you need accounting people. So yeah, the key is to determine your skill set up front, your core strengths and competencies, and align those with the hot industries.
And I want to go back. We were talking about interviews, and one of the things that you mentioned in your book that I think is really important is don't talk about salary, or if they ask you, what do you do there when you're on the interview?
Well, with that, you don't want to pinpoint a particular dollar amount if you can avoid it at all. The key is, instead, you want to say something proactive like, I expect to be a top performer at your company, so my expectations are that I get paid accordingly.
Right. That should be the last on your list. You're much more interested in the job itself than the money attached to it, or so you pretend.
That's right. And it's not fair, too, because you don't know the benefits, you don't know the compensation plan, so it's not fair to you, it's not fair to them to talk salary too early in the game.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. Todd Bermont, author of 10 Insider Secrets to a Winning Job Search.